Okay, so today we're going to be talking about power of powers. So this is where we take one exponent and we're going to raise it to another exponent. So again, there's a quick shortcut, so just kind of look at this and see if you can figure out what that shortcut is, if we can figure it out at the end here. So originally I have 3 squared and then in parentheses, and then I have raising that to the 4th power. So I'm going to expand everything in the parentheses first. So inside the parentheses, 3 squared would be 2 3's, right? So I have 3 times 3 being raised to the 4th power. Okay, well, now let's try expanding that again. So I have 4 of these 3 times 3's. So it'll be 3 times 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 3. So then to simplify that, let's count up how many 3's I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could simplify that to 3 to the 8th power, or if I were to convert that, it would be 6,561. Okay, so maybe we can see that rule already, but let's try it again with an exponent, see if we can figure that out. That rule, I'll go over it after I do the exponent. So let's look at, or the variable, sorry. Let's look at number 3 here. So I have x to the 6, and then I'm raising that to the 3rd power. So inside the parentheses, let's expand that. So it'll be 6 x's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm raising that to the 3rd power. Then it wants me to expand that again. Oh boy. So I'm going to have 3 of all of these 6's. So let's do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that's a lot of x's. Okay, let's try counting them up and let's see if we can simplify this back down again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's going to simplify to 6 to the 8, or x to the 18th power. So if you were to look back at the original, number 1 became 3 to the 8th power. It was originally 3 to the 2nd to the 4th power. What would you do with 2 and 4 to get to 8? You would multiply them, right? Same kind of idea with 6 and 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So our quick shortcut with these is to just multiply them together. The exponent on the outside just multiplies with the exponent on the inside. And then we'll multiply to every exponent inside the parentheses. So if there's more than one term inside, like down here, it's going to distribute to both exponents. Or even right here, there's 2 exponents there, right? Both of them have those invisible 1's. The 3 would go to both of those and become 2 to the 3rd, b to the 3rd. Okay, and then you just simplify the 2 there. Not today. Okay, then let's look at some more examples. So let's try looking at, let's do this one first. So if I look at this one, there's 2 terms inside here. I've got a 4 and then an r to the 0. This 4 doesn't have an exponent there, so you know it has that invisible 1 exponent next to it. So again, power of powers, you're going to distribute that 4 to both terms. So 4 times 1 is going to be 4, so I've got 4 to the 4th power. And then 4 times 0 is 0, right? So I have r to the 0 power. So let's try and simplify this down. 4 to the 4th power is 256. And then r to the 0 would just be 1, right? What's 1 times 256? It would be 256. So that's your answer right there. Let's try looking at this one. So again, neither of these have exponents, so they both have that invisible 1. That negative 1 is going to distribute to both of those. So when you distribute it, would be 5 to the negative 1 power, and then 1 times 1 is negative 1, so it'll be n to the negative 1 power. Now both of these guys are unhappy, so to make them happy, they both have to move downstairs. If they both move downstairs, you're just going to be left with 1 on top, and then down below you'd have 5 to the positive 1, which would just be 5, then n to the positive 1, which should be n. So it'll be 1 over 5n. Okay? And that's all you're doing there. Let's try looking at this one right here. So I have 2 times negative 4, and then there's no exponent above the 8, so it would just be a 1, so 2 times 1. So I'm going to get 8 squared times x to the negative 8. Okay, looks like the x is unhappy, and he's going to have to go downstairs. So that gives me x squared over x to the positive 8. But then I can expand or simplify that 8 squared to 64. So it'll be 64 over x to the 8th power. And that's as simplified as I can get it. Okay? Not too tough, right? You just distribute that exponent on the outside of the parenthesis to all the exponents inside.